The thug is in.
Oh, thank you for watching if you've watched this, by the way. I mean, if you're still here, like, lol, but, like, part two, let's go. Hoenn Gaiden. So, hello. This is part two. Part two is when, we are in playoffs. Part two is playoffs, baby. And my first playoff opponent in the PMPL semifinals is Zcopen. We're up 3-0 at this point, and admittedly, I was doing so many other things this week that I did not like hyper prep for Zcopen. I just figured that I was gonna bring this idea. So let me talk about the backstory of this team that I'm about to bring. Um, so you could see this is a star remake team. For ADVOU fans, you know the classic Marowak plus Hariyama balance team. And the reason that I kind of copied the team is before I was trying to use, like, before PMPL even started, I was looking at an idea of Marowak Alola. Marowak Alola is a really cool addition to the tier because it's literally the same as Marowak-ish, but I feel like it has a lot of other cool properties. For one, it's a fire ghost type, which means that if you think about it, special defensively, this thing is nuts. What this allows Marowak Alola to do is, first, for one, you are immune to explosion, which is huge. It's always a nice thing to be immune to spin and immune to explosion. Um, I mean, yeah. Then again, the spinners are Starmie, which you're gonna get boned by, or like Claydol. Yeah, I mean you KO Claydol, I think, but either way, you get the point. Being immune to explosion and fighting moves and normal moves is big for defensive switching in, which Marowak always had trouble doing. Not only that, but now you stonewall Zapdos because you have Volt Absorb. Because think about it, right? You are immune to Thunderbolt, and you're immune to both the two most common hidden powers in ADVOU. Hidden Power Ice and Hidden Power Grass. So you just stonewall Zapdos. Not only that, but unlike regular Marowak, you also stonewall Gengar because as a fire type, you can't be Will-O-Wisp, and you also are immune to Thunderbolt. You resist Ice Punch, HP Grass, Giga Drain, Fire Punch. Marowak Alola has so much cool defensive utility. And yeah, so I just thought it was a really cool idea and a cool bring, especially because it offensively pressures Jellicent with Shadow Ball, which I just thought was really cool. SD Shadow Ball, Bone Meringue, Focus Punch. And I was going to pair it with Starmie because I was like, okay, because it's weak to sand and spikes, I want to obviously clear, spikes and offensively pressure stuff. And I was even going to pair it with a Dunsparce, which is a really cool thing. Dunsparce got buffed. I don't know if the Dragon typing is a buff, but it does allow it to resist, like, Thunderbolt and stuff like that, I guess. But now you're weak to Ice and Declaw, but whatever. Dunsparce is the most notable Pokemon that gets spikes plus a recovery move besides Chestnut and Roserade. And also with Serene Grace, you just spread paralysis. So I thought it was a cool idea to facilitate Marowak Alola by spreading paralysis. But as I was making this team, I was realizing, I was like, wow, this is eerily similar to BKC's team, BKC and Star's team, that Marowak Hariyama balance, because it's the same premise. It was Marowak, and it had a T-Wave spreading Starmie, Body Slam paralysis spreading Jirachi to facilitate Marowak while also still being a solid balance squad. So I literally copied the team pretty much. This is the same exact EVs on Hariyama and Jirachi, because I liked what they did with the EVs. I watched the video multiple times and I forgot exactly what they were for, but like I liked the EVs even in a Hoenn Gaiden world. So these 4 Pokemon are literally the same, except this is Giga Drain over Hidden Power Grass, which I forgot to change during the game, but whatever. Anyway, these are the same 4 Pokemon. Just a really nice double wish defensive core, recover on Celebi, knocking off the opponent so that you get rid of leftovers, just wearing down the opponent and supporting your team. Then you got the Marowak Alola, which I chose Rock Slide instead of Swords Dance because I didn't think I was ever going to get a Swords Dance off anyway. What else did I choose Rock Slide for? Oh, just hitting like Mence harder and like Moltres if that ever came out. And now the other big change that I made is you might notice there's a Blastoise instead of a Starmie. And my theory behind going Blastoise instead of Starmie is that because I chose Marowak Alola, I now traded a Rock Resist for a Rock Weakness. And right now my Rock switch-ins are Hariyama and Jirachi, but I still felt weak to Tyranitar, and I wanted to spread more paralysis. So Starmie just felt way too squishy versus physical attacking threats. And so instead, and also Starmie's matchup versus Skarmory was not very good. And Marowak Alola is surprisingly maybe worse versus Skarmory because no, maybe not. I don't know. Either way, I chose Blastoise. So Blastoise is obviously much more defensive than Starmie. It is slower. It does still have access to Rapid Spin though, which I like. It's usually a worse Starmie, but I like the fact that it was more squishy versus rock type attacks and physical hits in general. It eats physical hits way better than Starmie. And not only that, but it did get a little bit buffed because of Analytic, which, as we saw with Sylveon, means that you have 1.3 power if you're the last to move in a turn, which also means when your opponent is switching out. And I loved that Hoenn Gaiden gave it Zap Cannon. What Zap Cannon allowed for this team, it was just another way that I could spread paralysis, and it also really, really threatened Skarmory, because not only does it paralyze the Skarmory, but it hits it hard with Zap Cannon. So I just loved the idea of throwing Blastoise on this team over Starmie, and so kind of copying an ADVOU team, but making it my own with Marowak, Alola, and Blastoise. So yeah, let's see how this game goes. I felt confident I could beat Zcopen, and the reason that I didn't bring this versus Rezzo is that, you know, when you see, like, because I even witnessed this when I was practicing playing with the BKC star team on the ladder. When you see Hariyama, Rachi, Celebi, you're already kind of knowing what the team is, and you can make predictions accordingly. But anyway, let's see how it goes. So, this is PMPL semifinals versus Zcopen. We got Tyranitar lead and a Hariyama lead. Literally the perfect lead and the freest knockoff of my life. In comes Metagross. Boop. And there goes the lefties. So it wasn't banned, but this is huge. I mean, it just, Metagross can't heal. Obviously, I have a great Metagross switch in Blastoise. How much do we take from MASH? 15. And even though I'm not healing in Sand, I can fire off an Analytic Surf. However, we see that this is Hidden Power Grass Metagross. Probably not Hidden Power Electric, because surely you would run Thunder Punch. But this is Hidden Power Grass Metagross, which does surprise me. And I click Surf. Don't do that much because, like... But then again, like, I'm doing a good amount of damage that Starmie would do because I'm hitting with Analytic, but I'm also way bulkier than Starmie. However, I will admit, a big part of Blastoise is that it doesn't have instant recovery. But again, I think it was just a nice play that I brought Blastoise still. Either way, I switch out to Mence because there's no way he clicks MASH. He's going to click Hidden Power again. And I go Mence, and my defensive mess is going to just start throwing off a Flamethrower. No need to do any crazy predictions yet. He goes Swampert, Flamethrower. I got to respect the Ice Beam. So what do? Of course, I go Celebi because I have a whole ass Celebi. Here comes the Hydro Pump, does nothing, and now I can fire off a Leech Seed. Leech Seed is pretty free. I'm in a nice driver's seat advantage here. I go Leech Seed. And now you're going to see something here. I'm just going to let it play out. I decide to go Marowak Alola. And here's the reason that I go Marowak Alola here, right? So I set up the Leech Seed. Metagross doesn't have lefties, so Leech Seed is chipping it down way more. My philosophy here was that he's probably going to think that Blastoise is going to come in. And I figure that he wants to call that right away. And look at Blastoise's matchup versus this team. I mean, now that I look back at it, I'm actually starting to think about this more. Whatever. He sees Blastoise's matchup versus the team. He wants to either eliminate the possibility of Salamence throwing off a Wish to Blastoise, or, well, he doesn't know that it's Wish, but, like, then again, no, he doesn't know that it's fucking Wish, but whatever. I was predicting that he wants to try to boom right here. He's either going to try to boom the Celebi, which is obviously a nuisance to Tyranitar and Swampert. Boom the Blastoise, which is a nuisance to Tyranitar and Swampert. He's at low health. His Metagross doesn't have lefties. It's getting Leech Seeded. I thought he would want to make an initiative play. And so I decide to go Marowak Alola. And the reason that I go Marowak Alola is I want to either catch the boom or catch him just trying to mash. I felt like it was a pretty safe play. And you never know what I could catch there, right? I could have caught anything with this. Instead, he goes out to Aerodactyl, which is kind of worst case scenario. I don't really understand the Aerodactyl play here. Maybe it was into a Blastoise, but then trying to flinch it. Celebi trying to HP flying it, or HP bug it. Makes sense, I guess. So now here I make another play, and you might wonder why. So I have Marowak Alola. I decide to keep it in. The reason that I decided to keep it in, and you can see I thought about it a while, is I really didn't think that Zcopen would just fucking Rock Slide here, right? I mean, like, look at how much threat Hariyama has versus his team. If I switch Hariyama in on a Rock Slide, I can click a free knockoff. I can just click Brick Break. Like, I have so much initiative. If I go Hariyama, I can click Focus Punch, all this different stuff, right? Like, Hariyama could do so much work. Like, I really didn't I mean, Rock Slide just felt like a really straightforward play. I thought that he was going to Hidden Power Flying. And Hidden Power Flying or Hidden Power Bug. And Hidden Power Flying, Hidden Power Bug, Marowak Alola live both. Marowak Alola even lives an Earthquake if Aerodactyl wanted to try to Earthquake on, like, some sort of rock resist in the back and kind of mid-grounding Hariyama-ish. But I decided to stay in predicting that, and I wanted to kill the Aerodactyl, which I would have with Rock Slide. So, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess nice play by Zcopen, but maybe I was overestimating my opponent. But I did sack Marowak Alola there, but it's okay because Hariyama gets to come in and fire off a move. So I decide to Focus Punch. In comes Swampert, and we see the most bizarre Swampert set in the world. Look at this. How much it takes from that. Not only did it take a fuck ton from Focus Punch, but I'm faster than it, and I'm a Hariyama. Which means that, like, it's not a defensive Swampert, but it's also slower than Hariyama? I didn't really understand that, but either way, I think I ran a quick calc, and Brick Break just killed it. Boop. Goodbye, Swampert. Sack Swampert. In comes Aerodactyl. Gotta respect the Hidden Power Flying here. I decided to go out to Jirachi now. There's no way that he clicks Earthquake here when there's no reason to, according to the four Pokemon that I have. And I get Jirachi in, and I get to fire off a free Wish to facilitate Blastoise coming in more on everything. So I go Blastoise. In comes Rock Slide. Doesn't do enough because I'm Blastoise. If I was Starmie, that would have done enough. Yes, here we go. And now Blastoise is helped by the Wishes. I just fire off Analytic Surf. Fortunate crit on the Snorlax, admittedly, but there we go. Here comes Blastoise. And now here comes back to Hariyama. This was a misplay looking back. I don't get punished for it. I actually get rewarded for it. But this was a big misplay looking back at it, because here's the reality, right? This could be a DD Tyranitar. If I risk Snorlax booming on Hariyama, DD Tyranitar can clean up this team potentially, because Hidden Power Bug on the Celebi, it can Rock Slide the Mence. Mence doesn't really pressure that, and my Jirachi gets hit with Earthquake, Rock Slide, Flinch, all that stuff. I really should have been keeping the Hariyama healthy, and I really should have just gone Celebi here. I should have just gone Celebi and clicked Leech Seed, Recover, all that stuff. I had no reason to go Hariyama here. But I did. It was kind of a misplay, but I don't get punished. I get rewarded with a Body Slam Paralysis. So now I have a Guts boosted Brick Break that I can fire off for free. He could boom here, but he just decides not to. We're both misplaying here. Brick Break. There goes Metagross, right? Easy sack. In comes Aerodactyl to click Hidden Power Flying. And now I have a decision to make here. What do I go? I go Salamence, and I predict it. He tries to catch out. No, he actually doesn't. Basically, I predict that he's not going to click Rock Slide. He could have clicked Earthquake, catching the Jirachi. He could have clicked Hidden Power Flying, predicting the crazy stay-in. And I guess he kind of did, which also caught Salamence. I think you just could have gone Rock Slide then. Could have been also predicting a Celebi into the Earthquake. Crazy stuff like that, right? I go Wish. Wish is another important move here to either facilitate me wanting to go Blastoise back in or Hariyama. Obviously, here the play is now going out to Hariyama. He goes out to Magneton, which I don't understand at all. I guess he was trying to go Magneton in on the Blastoise, I guess, but like, you know, kind of another nonsense-ish play in my opinion. Goes Thunderbolt, gets a lucky Paralysis. This is scary. Thankfully, he's not running fucking Thunder Magneton, lol. Here we go. Brick Break fails to kill the Aerodactyl, which is annoyingly scary. And I decide to go back out to Mence to pivot, Intimidate. On the Earthquake, I predict it. Good night. Tried to get the Jirachi on the switch in. Now I get a free Wish. Wish out to Blastoise or Hariyama. I'm going to go Hariyama here. Again, risking the boom, which is just another dumb thing by me. Don't know why I'm doing this. I have a whole ass Celebi, but whatever. He's gonna boom here. Boop. Goodbye, Hariyama. We're both on timer pressure. I go Jirachi, he goes Tyranitar. That is scary. I'm scared of DD. I have to switch out to Blastoise. He just Earthquakes. Not revealing anything yet. We don't know if it's lefties. That's not banned damage. I Surf. Analytic Surf doing how much to a Magneton? Yeah, that's right. A fuck ton to that Magneton. Here, I think I can just go back out into Salamence. Not really scared of much. Here comes HP Ice. No, HP Fire trying to catch a Jirachi switching, I guess. Again, just don't really understand why Thunderbolt didn't come out there. Whatever. We Flames on the Tyranitar, and now I've got to go back out to Blastoise again. Scary stuff. Misses the Rock Slide. Kind of mattered-ish. I don't really know if it did. But whatever. I get to fire off a free Surf and get a kill. Or Tyranitar stays in and Surf does nothing because it is a bulky Tyranitar, it seems. I'm just going to Surf again. No reason not to. Blastoise is dead to everything else. Thank God this wasn't DD or I lost the game. In comes Celebi. Again, I am misplaying this tournament a lot. I got a lot to learn. But anyway, we go Magneton. As I click Hidden Power Grass, I totally forgot to switch it to Giga Drain. You can see how last minute my prep was for this. I had the idea, but I prepped it kind of last minute-ish. Didn't really do a good time looking it over. I Psychic here. I don't need to not Psychic here. I go back out to Ments. No need to risk anything toxic. This is game over. I Protect. Boop. In comes this. And Jirachi wins the game. And there you go. I finally won another game after a while. Now we are on PMPL Finals. So, PMPL Finals. I gotta play Rezzo. And this is a big game. To put this into context, this is PMPL Finals. We are up 4-3. If I win this game, we win the whole tournament. If we lose, we have to go to tiebreaks. So, what did I decide to bring? Well, I found something called Perrserker. Perrserker was brought back, and not only that, it got a new tool in Stakeout, which doubles your attacking stat into a target that switches in on the turn. Stakeout was a really cool addition by the Hoenn Gaiden mod people, so we can see the Pokemon that get Stakeout. The most notable, I would argue, are Cacturne, Seviper, and of course, Perrserker. So, Cacturne getting Stakeout is cool. I mean, like, it's basically kind of, the Stakeout idea on Cacturne and Seviper is that basically Pokemon with not a lot of bulk and high attack stats, how can we leverage them to make them a little bit better? And I like putting Stakeout on these two Pokemon. I think that Seviper needs to be buffed a little bit more as well, honestly. I think that you need to give it a reason, but it's whatever. These two Pokemon, however, don't have a lot of defensive utility. Cacturne definitely does have more as it switches in on Celebi. It walls Jellicent hard, and you can use that to leverage it with Focus Punch Stakeout, Hidden Power Grass Stakeout, Hidden Power Dark Stakeout. It gets Sucker Punch now, which is cool. All that stuff, right? But I saw Perrserker, and I was like, holy shit. You can go Choice Banded Meteor Mash on Perrserker and do crazy damage. Because the reason to think about Stakeout is now not only do you get banned, but Meteor Mash now has effectively 200 base power. You also can use Double Edge. It gets access to Shadow Ball, so you can hit Jellicent. And I was like, I gotta build around Perrserker. So what was my idea around Perrserker? Well, of course, throw a Magneton on it. Again, more Magneton stuff. Forgot what the EVs were for, but basically Expert Belt Magneton, same deal. Thunder Wave helps to facilitate Perrserker's bad speed. All that stuff, right? I mean, just do Magneton stuff. Perrserker set is banded, and it's a rock resist. Look at that. It's so cool. It's a rock resist, and it has Stakeout. That's what's so scary is that I could switch this in on Aerodactyl Rock Slide and get a crazy hard attack off. And other things, because I'm a Steel type. The speed here was to outpace, like, Rezzo's 16 speed Tyranitar that they like to use. And just to get the jump on stuff, like maybe no speed Swampert, because Double Edge is going to knock that thing out hard. All that stuff. So I decided to use this. And then I thought of the idea of, okay, this is really weak to Dugtrio, really weak to opposing Magneton. Like, that's what Perrserker struggles with, Dugtrio and Magneton. So let's use the reverse trapping Illumise, which traps both with Lunge and Brick Break. Not only that, but it's another physical offensive threat, surprisingly. I offensively pressure Tyranitar, and I outpace it even after a Dragon Dance because I'm so fast, because I'm Illumise. Shadow Ball helps with Gengar, and Jellicent, which are also answers to Perrserker. And then I threw on Hidden Power Rock as the last, so Encore is definitely an idea. Destiny Bond is really cool on Bandolumize. But I decided to go Hidden Power Rock because of Rezzo's love of Talonflame. I wanted to offensively pressure that, which I think was a good call on my end. You got Swampert, the classic physical offense component. Rock resist again, not just Perrserker. Hydro Pump, Earthquake, Ice Beam. I go for a more offensive one. I was going to go something defensive, but I wanted to hit hard on an offensively oriented team. And then my idea here was actually to go Toxic. You don't usually see this ever on a 3-attack Swampert. You usually see Protect, Roar, or Focus Punch. But I figured I didn't want to be totally stonewalled versus Jellicent. Because if you look at my team here, my Jellicent answer is Zapdos. And yeah, I can taunt Gyarados, but I can't switch Gyarados in on a Jellicent because of the threat of Wisp. So I wanted to have a way that Swampert could threaten Jellicent, and I chose Toxic. And not only that, what Toxic also does is it helps with Cloyster, and it also helps with opposing Swampert. I could have ran Hidden Power Grass, but Hidden Power Grass bounces off of Jellicent too much for me to use it. So yeah, I went with Toxic to help with Jellicent. I might over-focus on Jellicent, but I think it's really good. And like ADVO viewers that are still watching this for some godforsaken reason, you can see why Jellicent would be such a threat. I don't know, Toxic does Toxic things. Then I went with another Dragon Dance Gyarados, the exact same set from the Bynum series. I like Gyarados, it works here. I went with it over Ments because, again, just Jellicent stuff and Swampert stuff even. Yeah, it helps. So Dragon Dance Gyarados, let's go. And then I went with Zapdos. Zapdos plus Magneton is interesting to some maybe, but I really needed to I really felt like I wanted to pressure Jellicent immediately with Perrserker, as well as bulky water types such as Suicune. So I chose Zapdos. And not only that, but Zapdos gave me a lead for the team, as everything else was kind of an uncomfortable lead versus a lot of things. And, you know, Baton Pass is nice. I mean, I could have dropped Baton Pass for something like Roar, or even like Drill Peck. I could have gone a mixed set here, but I liked the idea of Zapdos, and I went with Hidden Power Ice just because I didn't like how scary a DD Salamence was for my team. Even though I had Ice Beam on Swampert. Swampert was going to be not there at the end of the game, I felt like. But yeah, I like that idea of Perrserker. I mean, this thing hits absurdly hard, and you'll see that during the game. So, PMPL Finals Tiebreaks versus Rezzo. Let's do it. Lead off with Zapdos, in comes Ments. A part of me really wanted to go out to the thing that could pressure Blissey. I mean, like, I really wanted to go out to Perrserker here. I don't know why I forgot about that. Really wanted to go out to Perrserker here, but I figured I have HP Ice for a reason. I'm gonna click it. Right? HP Ice, bam. Fine Scout by Rezzo, makes sense, right? Here is Perrserker time. Baton Pass into Perrserker. They try to throw Sing off, which is crazy. I don't know why the things aren't... Hold on, I'm gonna refresh this one. I don't know why the things aren't showing up. Like, there you go. There it is. There's the right animation. So anyway, I Baton Pass. I go into Perrserker, which thankfully has Sleep Talk. Forgot to mention, Sleep Talk idea on Perrserker was also because I know Rezzo loved Lovely Kiss Snorlax and thought it was just as good as I did. This gave me a switch into that. Hilariously, it does now help me pressure Blissey. And I think Rezzo saw that my ways of pressuring Blissey before were always like Metagross and stuff like that. And if you sing Metagross, then well, good night. So nice prep by Rezzo here. I like the idea of Sing Blissey. Because sleep is broken. Anyway, I now, even though I did have to sadly baton... Oh, you know what I should have done? I'm not kind of realizing it. I shouldn't have even baton passed on the Intimidate. I forgot about the Intimidate baton passing, admittedly, as you'll see in the side chat. But check this out. -2. Choice Banded Shadow Ball did 48 to a Salamence. Non-stab. -2. Stakeout Band Shadow Ball did 48 to Immense. And you can see me in the chat wondering, well, shit. Oopsie, I forgot that I had -2. You can see the power of Perrserker. I switch in Swampert, you know, hoping that it's not Hidden Power Grass. I think I scout for Hidden Power Grass here, actually. Because you never know. You never know what these Mixed Mentses be doing. It revealed Fire Blast and Leftovers. It's most likely Mixed Ments. Mixed Fence is a good lead. So I scout for it, and I scout for it by going out to Zapdos, which nicely ends up catching Cloyster. So I can click off a Thunderbolt. Blissey comes in, sure. I could have gone back out to Perrserker, but like I feel like I'm safe. The reason that I didn't click, I didn't do an aggressive double there was that I didn't have to, because in a way, I kind of want Blissey to sing Perrserker, because then it's my sleep absorber. So I Thunderbolt, and then I'm gonna go back out to Perrserker. He's thinking, oh nice, I'm gonna get the sing off. It goes to sleep, but that's fine, cause I click Sleep Talk, and let's see how much this does to Cloyster. I just did 53 to a Cloyster, which, by the way, is now resistant. Cloyster now is resistant to Steel. It has 150 defense, and I just did that much damage with a resisted move. Perrserker is crazy. And then I proceed to make a huge misplay, and I try to Sleep Talk again, totally forgetting about the ADV mechanic where you cannot Sleep Talk twice in a row on a choice-locked Pokemon. Because it fails. That was dumb. And I basically just let Rezzo get 2 spikes, or I basically let Rezzo get momentum on Zapdos. That was bad. I could have gone Zapdos there on that spike, and I could have then clicked a T-Bolt into Blissey or Tyranitar. He calls me going Zapdos in on the Cloyster. Fine play by him, but it's okay because I have Swampert in the back still. Swampert is going to get overwhelmed by Ments plus T-Tar, but I figured it's fine. I'm just going to go Swampert. He tries the DD here. I'm not sure why, but seems fine. Whatever, I'm going to click Hydro Pump anyway. Boop. Hydro Pump does a lot to Cloyster. Really wishing I had Hidden Power Grass here. I didn't want to... I think my idea now on what I choose to do next in going Illumise is that I didn't want Swampert to get boomed on. And not only that, but Illumise can actually kill Cloyster with Lunge. If he decides to just set up another spike, which he does. And hilariously also, I trace Overcoat so I don't take Sand Chip, which is funny. But I click Lunge, goodbye the Cloyster. In comes the Yegg, also known as Crabominable. Rezzo used this in a game before and absolutely smoked his opponent's pack. Let's explore Crabominable really quick. This thing is... oh, wrong thing. This thing is crazy. So, Crabominable gets Fur Coat, which means that its defense is doubled, which means that every single calc, you got to assume it has an Iron defense up, which effectively makes Crabominable a Rock Resist with this insane HP and defense stat. Not only that, but it gets access to Superpower, it gets access to Mach Punch. It's a really cool Pokemon. It has relatively nice Special Block, 185, and yeah, it threatens a lot. It's a really great Pokemon with Fur Coat, all that stuff. And Rezzo loves to use it, and Rezzo has it here. In it comes. What do? I go Gyarados, because thank the God I have Gyarados, and it does great things to this thing. Superpower does a lot. This isn't even banded, and it already... wait a second. No, yeah. Why does it say Hyper Cutter? Oh, it's doing Gen 8 stuff. But either way, I switch in Gyarados, right? Smart play. And what I like about this play is that I basically threaten Hidden Power Flying. My team is admittedly a bit weak to Crabominable, I'm not going to lie. And I threaten Hidden Power Flying. And knowing that I threaten Hidden Power Flying, what I can do is I can Dragon Dance and then Hidden Power Rock the incoming Salamence and kill it with the sand. So watch this. He goes in Ments thinking Hidden Power Flying. Why else would I use it? I Dragon Dance. And then I click Hidden Power Rock to destroy the Salamence. Not kill it. I don't know if that was a roll. I don't think so. D-Claw comes out. Sure, whatever. Salamence goes down. Now that Rezzo knows that I cannot have a super effective move on Crabominable, he can send it back in. Here, I'm not sure about this play, and I thought about it way too long. I literally gave myself, like, way too long to think about this, as you can see. But I decided to taunt the Crabominable, because while Rezzo has never used Bulk Up Crabominable, I figured that I don't want to get destroyed by Crabominable. Like, because Zapdos could theoretically get destroyed by Bulk Up Crabominable. I don't know. Looking back, Taunt definitely wasn't the play, but I should have just Hidden Power Rocked it, got some chip on it, but whatever, right? He kills me with Superpower, which is funny. Boop, there it goes. -1, minus attack. And now here I make the single biggest choke in the tour. I was on timer pressure. I don't know what I was thinking. A mindless play here. I go Perrserker instead of my Zapdos on a minus attack, minus defense Crabominable. Crabominable is not doing jack shit to Zapdos. Zapdos is doing jack shit to Crabominable. I should have gone Zapdos and clicked Thunderbolt. I really have no other excuses for this. This was just a crazy misplay. And I just thought to myself, like, Perrserker Steel move, super effective. A super big timer choke, and I just super overthought it. I do nothing with Double Edge because I'm not even Stakeout boosted, and I died as superpower. It was just dumb. Not only that, but what that did is it allowed Blissey to get another sing off. Just a mindless choke. I was not happy about this with myself. I totally choked this. And yeah, you can see that there's not much else to save in Grace here. I mean, Illumais thankfully can come in and click Brick Break, boop. And interestingly, they go... Oh, no, they don't go. They go Jirachi here. I go Magneton, which I feel like is a fine play, except it subs, which is the worst case scenario. I'm like, shit, I can't let this Calm Mind. I gotta go Swampert, Calm Mind, Ice Punch, Earthquake, Ice Punch. Doesn't kill it. I gotta go out to Illumais to kill it. Thankfully, because I know that this is super Rachi, and it's not gonna be super bulky, I actually hilariously do get a nice roll with Lunge and I kill it. Imagine Illumais killing a Jirachi. I love this tier. Goes out to Blissey. I was kind of scared of why this was here, but I know that Lunge didn't kill. So I decided to go out into... I mean, I lost at this point. Let's be real. I basically lost at this point. I go out to Zapdos. I try to get it to sing my Zapdos. He won't do it. I Baton Pass out to Magneton. I don't know why I Toxic. But after this point, it's kind of game over. I basically now just have to hope for a Paralysis and some hacks with the Illumais. That's what I do. I Paralyze. Seismic Toss, there it goes. In comes the Illumais to try to Brick Break twice. And yeah, I mean, that's all that has to happen. I got to get a Paralysis to win the game. I don't. Seismic Toss kills, and this is game over. Yeah, was not happy about this at all. This was, like, really bad. Really, really bad. This is a terrible choke. Perrserker, the Union Zerker, could have won a game, but I just a mindless choke. It's not like I like automatically won the game, but I was so in control during this whole game, and for me to throw it like that, when like when Zapdos comes in, he can go into Blissey, sure, but like it was just like a mindless choke. A really mindless choke, sacking a Pokemon that obviously destroyed his team for no reason. It was just a really mindless play. And, yeah, there you go. Yeah, I lost. So anyway, now I basically kind of brought my team into tiebreaks. And because Rezzo was 2-0 versus me, the opponent decided to pick Hoenn Gaiden for the tiebreak. So I'm a little bit nervous. I mean, I'm 0-2 versus this guy, and I have to win this game for us to win the tournament. Okay, reconnect. Ugh. I hope this video isn't too fucking long. I've been talking for a long ass time, I realize. So now, look at all these random things. So now I decide to bring a fucking Linoone team. Here's my premise behind bringing Linoone, right? The premise behind bringing Linoone is that I feel like in Hoenn Gaiden, because there's all these new toys, you're gonna not see the regular ADV OU Pokemon as much, right? And Linoone feels like a very anti-BS Pokemon with Belly Drum Extreme Speed. So I wanted to build around Linoone. The other reason that I wanted to build around Linoone is that basically when I was talking to Jim Cool about this Perrserker idea, he had the idea that he just threw on a Uxie on the team to T-Wave everything. And I was like, wait a second, Uxie exists? And it does. And then I realized, holy shit, wait a second. Uxie gets Memento, it's fast, it's literally a better Gardevoir. So I basically, kind of in a way, I was very inspired by Vapokuno's Linoone team that he used to top the ladder 2 years ago, which was based around Memento Gardevoir and plus Reflect setting up a Belly Drum Linoone. And I was like, okay, what if I use Linoone in Hoenn Gaiden, which has a lot more weird Pokemon, which I feel like Linoone can thrive more in, along with new tools that I have, including Lovely Kiss Snorlax and a better Gardevoir in Uxie. And so I then went on to build this team, and I'm really proud of this team. So standard Linoone, with enough speed to outpace a lot of like defensive Jirachis and then bulk. Snorlax was on Vapokuno's team, and understandably so. Vapokuno used a lead counter Snorlax to try to lure Metagross, but instead I was like, hold on, let me just use Lovely Kiss, because it basically shuts down a Pokemon to allow Linoone to switch in. And not only that, but with Focus Punch on my Snorlax, I kind of fake that I don't have Magneton, which I wanted to be sure that I was able to fake it, because I already used Magneton twice, and I was afraid that Rezzo was going to be kind of weary of Magneton. So I wanted to kind of ease his tensions and use a Focus Punch Snorlax, which would then allow me to bring in Magneton and trap the Skarmory. Shadow Ball to hit Gengar and Jellicent, self-destruct because I'm an offense team. These EVs basically allow me to live a non-banded Metagross Meteor Mash twice with leftovers in case I miss the Lovely Kiss. And then, yeah, then the rest is just kind of standard. The Spadef was just natural Spadef stuff. And yeah, so I like this set to lure in Skarmory better with Magneton. Speaking of my Magneton is Reflect, copying Vapokuno's idea of using Reflect in case Uxie goes down to set up Linoone. And then I decided to put Akaberry on. And the reason I decided to put Akaberry on is I was really afraid of, again, Talonflame, which Rezzo loves, or Moltres. And this allows me to live a single hit from Talonflame, and I can lure it and kill it with Thunderbolt. Not only that, but Akaberry does some other cute things, such as, like, it helps with Gengar clicking Fire Punch, so I can T-Wave it. It helps with Gengar clicking, it helps with Jirachi clicking Fire Punch. It just felt really nicely done on such an offensively oriented team. And I figured that even though I don't have Magnet or Expert Belt, Skarmory is going to be coming in on something hitting it hard, such as like a Metagross or a Focus Punch, and so I didn't need that extra Magnet or Expert Belt to actually kill it with Thunderbolt. So I decided on this. You know, I need this because Linoone gets walled by Skarmory, right? It gets totally walled. And then, again, let me go back to the Uxie. I know I'm kind of jumping around, but basically, yeah, it's Memento plus Reflect to help set up Linoone versus a variety of attackers. Safeguard so I can't get Wisped or Toxic or Thunder Waved. Same thing as Gardevoir, except this time, Vapokuno used Swagger on his Gardevoir. I decided to use Psychic here because my team was really, really weak to Crabominable, as I have a Silvery Dark. And I wanted to at least offensively pressure Crabominable instead of Fake like I do. And not only that, but it also hits Gengar. So yeah, it made me weaker to like some curse boosting stuff, but whatever. Yeah, Uxie's crazy. I mean, look at how bulky it is. It's fast with 95, and then it's really, really bulky. So I have a lot more opportunities than a Gardevoir would by setting up Reflect, Memento, and Safeguard because I'm so bulky, which I love. And then I have a Metagross here, and this is the same chronology as Vapokuno's team, where like you're basically never using Linoone and Uxie until the end game, so you're basically playing with 4 Pokemon in the early game. And the idea of this Metagross was I wanted to be a Hidden Power Grass Metagross to hit Swampert and not lose momentum versus that. Explosion for explosion things, Meteor Mash for Meteor Mash things, Earthquake, you know, it's Metagross. The reason I put Shuckaberry on here, like Vapokuno thought of the Salak Berry idea, which is valid. I wanted to use Shuckaberry here to basically make myself a lot better versus Dragon Dance Tyranitar, is what Shuckaberry's really cool for. Opposing Metagross, Flygon, Snorlax. It's just Shuckaberry allowed Metagross to play a lot more safer in the early game. And I forgot what my EVs were for. I know they did something. But it might have... I know 44 at special attack was copying Vapokuno because it allows Hidden Power Grass to 2-hit KO Swampert. And then, yeah, there you go. And then lastly, the star of the show, which you will see in the replay, was my Silvally. So I was thinking of using either like Tyranitar here, but I was like, eh. Vapokuno for his Gengar lure, he used a HP Ghost Heracross, which is valid. It's immune to that, but I wanted something yet again solid versus Jellicent, and something fast and powerful. Heracross fills those aspects, but I liked the idea of Silvery Dark. Silvery Dark has a stab, pursuit, multi-attack dark, which is huge and hits really hard, but most importantly, it had something that Heracross didn't, which was explosion. Explosion was really cool for yet another boom Pokemon. Count them, 1, 2, 3 to open up for Linoone. Explosion was huge, and then lastly, I decided on Surf to threaten Tyranitar and just hit things like fire types and all that jazz. So yeah, I mean, I was really happy with the look of this team. It's a little bit gimmicky, admittedly. It's not like I would suggest that you go out and use Linoone and Hoenn Gaiden, but it's PMPL finals. I didn't have any other team ideas. You know, I wanted to go out with a bang, use a Pokemon that I really wanted to try out, all that stuff. And so I went with it, right? And so I like this team. I like the idea of this team, and let's see how it functions. So this is PMPL finals versus someone that I am 0-2 versus. Let's see how it plays out. We lead out Lax. That's my lead. Suicune lead. I'm going to focus punch on an incoming Skarm or whatever wants to come in. Rezzo decides to bring out the Golurk. Rezzo loves Golurk, and a valid switch into Snorlax because you kind of wall Snorlax pretty well. Let's look at Golurk. Golurk is cool because, yeah, I mean, you block spin. It's a nice rock resist. It's offensive with Earthquake, and Shadow Ball has Focus Punch. It's cool. It's just a cool overall Pokemon, right? So he catches the Focus Punch, does nothing. Here's where I need to start Lovely Kissing because, yeah, I love Kiss. And what's crazy about this over counter is that I can't counter Golurk because it's a Ghost type. So here we go. Crit. That was an unfortunate crit, but I do hit the Lovely Kiss. Just general Hoenn Gaiden things, whatever, right? I'm going to Shadow Ball the Golurk. Oh, wait. Let me scroll this down. And then here I decide to boom. So you can already kind of sense the tension here. It's either I click Shadow Ball again and kill the Golurk and maybe get something else to Lovely Kiss because Lax will get Leftovers recovery, or I can just boom on a switch out for Rezzo not wanting to get something else slept. I decide to just boom here because I have the Pursuit Silverly Dark in the back and I can trap the Golurk. Even though when I trap the Golurk, Rezzo can then go something into the Silverly Dark, I just felt like boom was the play. And we were both thinking about it for a little bit and I decided to boom. I could have Shadow Ball, but whatever. I'm happy with my boom play. Here comes Silverly Dark. Pursuit, he doesn't try to switch out, but he doesn't wake up, thankfully. Not that it was going to do a stupid amount of damage. He could have boomed, I believe. There we go. Pursuit. Whatever. Hax is going back and forth. Now he goes Suicune. I decide to just stay in and multi-tech Dark. I mean, if you remember my team, you know, I'm not switching in Uxie or Linoone. My last two Pokemon on the team are Magneton and Metagross. I figure my play here is just to start multi-tech Darking. And I do 42%. Turns out to be an offensive Calm Mind Suicune. Huge damage. I think I do some calcs here. Yeah, I multi-attack again. Apparently multi-attacking wasn't working before, so that's funny. And unfortunately, he does miss a Hydro Pump. But you're running Hydro Pump, that stuff's going to happen. Wasn't going to kill my Silvally, but it was going to it did matter a lot. That Hydro Pump did did matter a lot. But so did the Earthquake quit and all that stuff. And you'll see some other hacks later on. Anyway, yeah, so I'm here. I'm just going to click multi-attack Dark again. I know that Hydro Pump doesn't kill. And for some reason, he Calm Minds. I don't understand this play. I think what he was predicting is me switching out. But either way, like I thought that Hydro Pump would have come out there. But whatever. He Calm Minds. In comes Abomasnow. Uh-oh. I could boom here. But my philosophy about not booming here and probably killing the Abomasnow is that I figured that, like, he could either have Protect and just get some Hail Chip on Silverly Dark. He could be protecting the Scout Flamethrower, because that's the other beauty of that I loved about Silverly, is that you don't know what it's going to do, because it has all this different coverage, right? All that stuff. You know, could be Ice Beam, all that stuff. So I decide, of course, to switch out to Metagross, right? Because I want to save Silverly Dark for another boom, and Metagross's time to come in is now. Here comes the Leech Seed. I'm like, beautiful. I'm just going to click Mash. I click Mash, and I fucking miss. And he Ice Beams me, gets some nice chip down. And you'll see why he was trying to do that later. He has a Doug Trio in the back, which looking back makes a lot of sense on this team. But I try to mash the Abomasnow. Definitely would have killed it, but that is okay. We missed the mash. We missed mash again on the incoming Jirachi, and now I have to boom. I saw what Rezzo did to me with sub Calm Mind Jirachi last time. I've got a boom. Or Earthquake. I think I just boomed. Yeah, I just boomed. I gotta worry about all that. You know what I mean? I can't lose to a sub call my Jirachi again. Kills you with Metagross. Metagross did nothing, and I was in a bad spot here ish. But it's okay because we got Silverly Dark. I thought about it for a little bit. What am I gonna go in? Again, I'm really playing now with two Pokemon, which is Silverly Dark and Magneton. What do I decide to do here? Well, Silverly Dark pressures this Jirachi really nicely with Multi-Attack Dark. Even though it's Calm Minding up, I'm still doing 38. And it's not hailing because it's hail instead of sand. Fire Punch, no burn, thankfully. Multi-attack again. And I am 1v1ing a Jirachi with Silverly Dark. Fire Punch, gets the burn, doesn't matter, I was dying to hail. I thought it mattered, as you'll see in the chat. Here comes Glaceon, I'll talk about this in a second. I said, God, that sucks so much, because I was in the mindset that, damn, I could have boomed with Silverly, but I forgot that hail was going to kill me anyway at 6%. So either way, I thought about it for a while, right? And after Fire Punch, it dies, burn. I kill it, right? He pivots in Glaceon, and then Silverly Dark dies. So Glaceon plus Abomasnow is a scary core because of Snow Cloak, and Glaceon is cool. Look at it, it has great defense and HP, amazing special attack. It can start setting up Calm Mind, it can sub, it can sleep, it has Lovely Kiss, it can do a lot of annoying things. Or Yawn, I think. And so I decide here, so I do have Magneton in the back, right? And I could use Magneton, but I think now is the time to set up the Linoone sweep. So I go to Uxie, and I have to set up Memento right away because I don't want to just like Safeguard or Psychic. I don't want Glaceon to get any more boosts with a Calm Mind. So what do? I Memento, which also, just like Explosion, ends the turn. So if we go back, what I love about Memento as well is that it ends the turn for momentum. Unlike in newer gens, Rezzo does not get to click a move before Linoone comes in. So what do? I Memento. When do you see that move in Gen 3? Never. And in comes the Linoonian to win Pet Mods Premier League. Or does it? I Belly Drum. In comes Barrier Glaceon. I still gotta talk to Rezzo about this. And Rezzo, if you're watching this, please leave a comment on the idea of Barrier Glaceon. It seems cool. I don't know if it's Barrier Calm Mind, but this is a crazy idea of a win con, and I'd love to see the philosophy behind it because it does seem cool. And now I was scared. What's funny, since I was actually thinking about bringing Iron Tail on Linoone over Hidden Power Ground because it hits Crabominable really hard, and I know that Rezzo loves Crabominable, and my team was so weak to it. But I decided on Hidden Power Ground because I didn't want to lose to Jirachi. And I felt like I didn't need Iron Tail, even though Iron Tail also KO'd Tyranitar hilariously. So anyway, we Belly Drum up. Now it's time to just hit E-Speeds, and let's see what happens. I E-Speed. Glaceon goes down. Barriers again. Which, looking back, I suppose was a sort of a choke. Because if it Ice Beamed twice, it would have died. My Linoone would have died, but Rezzo just decides to keep barriering. It's all hindsight. Barriers again. He's gonna barrier again, I believe. Or no, he doesn't barrier there. Hold on, let's reverse this. Let's reverse this. Belly Drum. He barriers here. Here we go. I'm gonna E-Speed. Zoop. Lots of damage. 53. Looking back, it's kind of funny, but I guess he really could have just clicked Ice Beam here, huh? Wow. Whatever, we won. He barriers again. And now I'm gonna E-Speed again. The Linoonian. He bears again. There goes his speed. Ice Beam doesn't kill Linoone because of Memento. Thank the Lord. And Linoone, does it win Pet Mods Premier League? You can probably tell by the tone of my voice. It indeed does. And here we go. Abomasnow. E-Speed. Zoop. Down goes Abomasnow. And in comes the Dugtrio at the end. Classic on a Hail team. And Linoone won the Pet Mods Premier League. Let's fucking go. Union proud. And I avenged my rival. And we won Pet Mods Premier League. So, holy shit, this is probably a long-ass part 1 and part 2. I hope you enjoyed me recounting my Hoenn Gaiden experience. I really love this tier, and there's so much more to explore. I want to build more solid stuff around like Cloyster and just like some classic ADVOU looking stuff. You know what I mean? But yeah, really interesting tier. I'll link the resources in the description. Go out and try the tier. It's awesome. And I will see you guys on the next video.